Well, everybody, we're excited to be back. We're going to talk a little bit about culture. Jason, we off the camera, we got talking about it, and I realized it's something we're both passionate about. We don't have a ton of time to cover this, but I just wanted to maybe just dive into your perspective on this. You know, I was telling you, the majority of the civil dirt world has some interaction with the general contractor, right? Like, there's very few who never act as a sub. Definitely they exist, but I'd say close to 50% of the dirt world has a direct relationship with general contractors on a pretty consistent basis.
Yeah.
So your perspective on that, I think, would be great. But I think ultimately the culture within construction is kind of the overview, the topic here. And so one of the things I just want to talk a little bit about is just how we treat our people. What is it that we can do, in your opinion, that helps recruit and attract people? And even talk maybe about the cultural things that aren't really that costly.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of times when we think about it, we come up with these grand ideas, but I think from my perspective, how do we compete with tech? Yeah. You know, how do we compete with these industries that I think are sexy right now, and do so even though we aren't making the margins they make, right? So we have to be a little bit creative. So what are some thoughts?
Yeah, so I love that question. Well, it's not a question because you have your own answers, but I love you triggering that up so we can talk about it, right? The answer to me isn't, you know, buying. So don't get me wrong. I love buying the foosball tables and the golf things and the lunches and candy and stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's what people are looking for. And I think that some of our industry veterans who are great people have really missed the mark, and they're like, I don't want to go like buy golf trips and like, you know, turn on music. I think we're missing the mark. We're simplifying the need here into temporal things. Like, kids aren't looking for a masseuse every week at the office. They're looking to not waste their lives. And you know, it's interesting. So we do superintendent boot camps, I know, and PM boot camps, and it's sad to see, and I'm not making fun of them because it happened to me. All of us, there's very rarely a person that doesn't get up in some of these hard processes that we take them through in super boot camp and say, I've wasted the last 15 years of my life. I've ignored my family, I've chased the golden handcuffs, and I've really been off base. And today it stops. Today I'm going to go home on time. Today I'm going to actually look my kids in the eye. I don't think that the kids coming out of school are lazy. I don't think that they are different. I don't think that they're greedy. I think they have been told now long enough to not waste their time in their lives by people like Gary Vee and Tony Robbins, and these, you know, they've been told to go live a life worth of meaning, and now they're listening, and they're like, where can I go work to live a life of meaning and not waste my time? And you know, I think, and I'm in it, so I'm not bad mouthing anybody, but like, I think if we in the industry right now, I worked hard and I just gritted through it for 20 or 30 years, and I was miserable, and I don't know why they can't, and loyalty, and we would realize that there have been a lot of years that we've been absolutely miserable like in our roles. And if we just had a better culture, we could have done a lot better with it. And when I talk about culture, I'm talking about the common beliefs and actions of an organization. And I'm not talking about pool tables and masseuses and music at the office, although those things can be fun.
Yeah.
I'm talking about culture. Go ahead.
Yesterday there was an article that came across through the Slack channel, and it was actually just talking about how really we think that's what makes all of those organizations attract people, talent, but most surveys were showing that people just want to be respected.
Yes, that's it. And it's kind of like we do the same thing with Google and with eBay and you know, these places, like we do with the Toyota production system. We're like, oh, Toyota does 5S, or Toyota does just-in-time delivery, or Toyota does whatever tool, and we're like, that must be the secret. Or Google, they have really nice offices. That's a tool that they use, but they have a great culture, right? And so my message to people is, I do field engineer boot camps, and we get the entry level people out of college. I can tell you there's no difference in the hard workingness of the people coming into FE boot camps nowadays as they were 15, 20 years ago. They bust their butt. They got their bags on. They're jamming. The problem isn't that they're not hard workers. The problem is that they don't want to work for certain companies because the culture isn't taking care of that respect that you talk about. And so when I talk to somebody and they're teasing me about it, I'm like, it's not that they don't want to work, it's that they don't want to work for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and it's not maybe not even it's that or it's maybe not even to be that, but like for them, respect at times is recognizing I want value in my life, I want meaning in my life, and that is for me having my weekends.
Yeah.
So I just realized I'm going to be working for the next 50 years.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to be working for the next 50 years, I don't want to spend all 6 days, 10 to 12 hours a day working.
Yeah.
Whereas like you said, there's a few very large civil contractors that everybody knows and they're well known for. You just got to work 60 hours a week or else if you're not working 60, then you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
The irony that I think on this one, to me, is funny. I am a millennial, technically.
Yeah.
Right? I think I just barely make it in.
Yeah.
I turned 36 last week. So just barely make it in. The irony is I'm in these meetings with executives of other companies. Most people don't know that because I look older than I should at my age, which, hey, it's great for my wife, not so good for me.
Yeah.
But this is what I'll hear all the time, like, oh, they don't work hard, all these things. And finally, one time, I was just tired of it. And it's not so much like I have a chip on my shoulder, but I just get tired of the complaining.
Yeah.
And so I said, the irony, I said this to all these people, I probably shouldn't have. The irony here is every one of you is the parents to the generation that you say don't know how to work hard.
Yeah.
So either they do because all of you know how to work hard, or you guys failed at teaching them how to work hard. I think the latter is not the case. They do know how to work hard, but their values are different. And I think that's good. Let's embrace it. What's so cool about this for me is how you win in construction is people and people that can lead.
Yeah.
Like that's how you win in construction.
Yeah.
So once you recognize, I just have to be respectful to the people and I need to ask questions to understand how can I demonstrate that respect. Once you understand that, all of a sudden you can have the best people.
Yeah.
And generally, it doesn't cost you a lot more. Mm-hmm. It's not like, well, for me to be respected, I need to be paid $20,000 above market rate. Yeah, everyone wants to get paid more than $20,000 above market rate. Yeah. But all things held equal, that won't be that's not what makes good employees. That's not what they make their decision based on. Yeah. You can pay market rate and get somebody.
Absolutely.
Because you have a good culture.
Like you can be like anybody can head towards being like Southwest Airlines.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's about the culture. So quickly, because I know and I learned a trick. If we tell people that it's bonus content, not that we're running short of time, it always works better. Yeah. Felipe Engineer taught me that. But in companies, you're absolutely right. And I just think it's so wrong to blame it on people. So I'll close on my portion of this in this way, is that if a company has to have, and Patrick Lencioni and Jim Collins do great jobs of this, right? So I love their books. I'm a Kappa Pro affiliated consultant with them, and it's like, it works. A company has to have clarity, right? They have to have a strong leadership team. They have to scale that clarity to the organization, and they have to reinforce it with human systems. And then we have to get employees engaged by providing connection, relevance, and measurement. And we have to make sure that we're having remarkable meetings, and we have to build teams according to the 5 dysfunctions. And then when these companies start to improve their corporate culture, then they can start to really win with business systems with Jim Collins and Peter Drucker. And then I want an incentive program. Let's go read The Great Game of Business or the book Traction. And they start to really win. And then they're like, I want to really energize my culture, go read Paul Akers' 2-Second Lean and start to really get everybody winning with total participation. winning with culture, organizational health and organizational development, to your point, is where we're going to win nowadays, because I have seen companies without any increase, well, they eventually do, any increase in like benefits and getting the pool tables and stuff like that, win over those great people. They want to work there, and then those great people go by the foosball tables. Those great people improve the office. Yeah. Those great people go drive the company in a wonderful direction. First who, then what? Who, what? Yeah. And that's what I think will be the advantage, to your point.
As you talked about that, I thought of Great by Choice, love the book. Culture is one of the things that Southwest had right. Obviously they did a lot of other things, but they were a 10xer, outperformed their peers 10 times. Imagine as a contractor getting culture right, and that being the catalyst to allow you to make all the other changes needed to outperform your peers by 10 times.
Yeah.
Like, that gives you a whole lot of opportunity.
Yeah. And they were lean.
Yes, they were. Yeah, they were. I mean, same plane, gate changes, all that.
Which is TAC planning.
Super, like very unique in their industry, and it works for them.
Yep.
A few thoughts, just in closing on culture. One, if you're in a position of management, culture is on you. Like,
oh yeah, amen.
This last year, the transition of not being the owner of Blunt Contracting, still being in an executive role, but also the work I'm doing here at BuildWitt, I've been able to sit with many people like you, like Rich Davini or Marcus Sheridan. We've been on this, we're reading books like crazy. So just a lot of knowledge has come to me, and I realized I was probably a level 3, maybe level 4 leader, right? But as I've learned and come to appreciate how much culture, how much people, how much growing my own knowledge, working on me, is a directive function of our own company's ability to perform, I've started to head in the right direction and getting to that level 4, level 5 leadership. Very humbling experience, because I grew a business, it was profitable, I exited the business. To some extent, I probably had a little bit of pride, like, I got this figured out, I'm 35 and look at this. This year has been incredibly humbling, because I realized, man, I have so much growth to do, but at the same time, it's so exciting, it's so rewarding to sit with people like you and realize, if I can learn this much helping put together the content for BuildWitt Leaders, imagine if the people listening, start doing this, start taking action on the things that we talk about, start doing the things that we're demonstrating. Like, clearly you're well read or listened, maybe you're listening because you're traveling. Everybody that we meet with, it's a common theme. They're reading, and like, you say these books, and I've read that one, I haven't read that one, I need to get to that one. And so I guess for me, as I think about culture, I think the opportunity you have as a leader in your organization is to work on yourself.
Yes.
Improve yourself.
Yes.
And share that with others.
Amen.
And BuildWitt Leaders is trying to help do that.
Yes.
But there's also things that can be done outside of it. Yeah. And so I think culture is just huge. I keep coming back to this quote that Jocko said. He said it when he was interviewing Aaron, because I had never heard anybody say it, and it's just stuck with me. And he said, and I'm not gonna, there's no air quotes here because I'm probably gonna get it wrong, but he said, when talking about the ROI on leadership, he said, the return on leadership is unbounded. It's infinite. And I just believe it's true. Yeah. And because of it, I'm so stoked and pumped about how do we become leaders? How do we create that culture that not only am I a leader in my organization, not only are you a leader, but how do we have leaders all the way throughout our organization? And so thanks for joining me. Thanks for having this bonus content. I like it, about culture. And super excited to partner with you in the future and work on how it is we can continue to make the dirt world a better place, continue to make the dirt world a better place, and as you would say, elevate construction.
On we go.
Thank you.